Hi guys, welcome to Money Mondays with Sir Chubby. I have a question. Do you believe in insurance? Is there a friend or a relative that's bothering you and selling you insurance? Is it something safe? Is it an investment or not? This is your lucky day because today we're going to talk about life insurance. Welcome again. This week's question is from Marvin Eris. Sir Chubby Jake, why do a lot of people buy insurance? Is it really useful? Di ba daghan naman na nasira companies na insurance? Marvin, before I answer your question, let me share to you a story. Once upon a time, there was a woman named Uding. In her 30s, she was a teacher and she bought pre-need plans for her kids, educational plans for their college, and there were 5 handsome boys. The first 2 boys, the kuya and the most handsome guy, they were able to use their educational plan. But something happened to the company, and the 3 boys, which were all guapo, but the second one was the most guapo, was not able to use their pre-need plan, and that company is cup. Until now, they haven't paid the pre-education plan that my mother was able to pay off a long time ago. I believe we really need to define what is a life insurance, whether it is an investment or not. I will answer it later, but what's a life insurance? Because we have a lot of prejudgment and prejudice about insurance, but actually, there are a lot of different insurances around the world. There can be hundreds of thousands, probably millions, including international. Because there are a lot of categories. Mainly, you can categorize it into 3, which is the non-life insurance, the life insurance, and the pre-need insurances. So based in the Philippine economy or the Philippine market, most of the companies that closed down were pre-need companies, those who were selling educational plans, those who are selling investment plans that provide a need for a pre-need in the future. But what we're going to talk about today is about life insurance, and I will clarify that. Life insurance. So a life insurance by nature is something that will protect you from something negative that is about to happen in the future, or that you are protecting yourself. Before I break it down to other types of life insurance, it's important to ask yourself, the main question really is not what kind of insurance or is it an investment or not, but the main question is, do you really need a life insurance? Because if you need it, then it can be an investment. But if you don't need it, then it's not an investment for you. So the answer for that for me is this. Very simple. If you are thinking of, if a person is inviting you or selling to you insurance, whether he's a friend or a relative, ask yourself, is somebody dependent on me? Meaning, if you are currently earning right now, whether from a job or a business, is somebody dependent in your income? Because what's the purpose of insurance is to protect or to ensure that that income will continue even if something happens to the person. So meaning, if you are single right now, you are a millennial, just like me, 24 years old, and you are not providing for anyone but yourself, you are not giving money from your income to your parents or to your siblings, you are not helping somebody in school, then personally, I would advise you don't need an life insurance. What you need is something you can put your money on that it will really grow, because currently nobody is dependent nobody is dependent from your income. So now that I've answered the question, we can now proceed to defining what are the types of life insurances. In the Philippines, there are 3 most popular insurance. The very first common one is whole life insurance. Whole life insurance. The whole life insurance, in a nutshell, is an insurance that you'll be paying for the rest of your life until you die. But The advantage is it has bigger incentives, bigger cash values, meaning, for example, the cash values are guaranteed. Let's just say you are insured with 3 million. It is guaranteed 100%. But again, you need to pay it when you start until the rest of your life. The second type of insurance, which is the most popular here in the Philippines, no matter how they package it, whether they package it with insurance, whether they package it with investment, we package it with cash value, they package it with critical illness, it's called a VUL, or a Variable Universal Life Insurance. So what's a VUL? Again, just like I mentioned, it's a variable type of investment. So meaning your insurance, which is your protection, is packaged with a critical illness for health, and it is packaged with an investment. They say, and be careful because they say it's a direct investment. It's not. The company is, or the insurance company is the one handling your money, and they're putting it into a certain investment. And additionally, it's not guaranteed. The interest rates are not guaranteed. So if they say to you that it's 15%, they will say to you it's an average. So meaning, if the market goes down, the interest rate of your investment might go down. Okay? But it's a better investment compared to whole life insurance. And by the way, a lot of the young people are now getting VUL. And I would like to repeat, for me personally, no offense to all the insurance agents out there and the insurance managers, it is not the best investment for you since you are young and there are not a lot of people who are dependent on your income. So might as well maximize your money on a direct investment, whether it's a mutual fund or in the stock market. Again, it's my personal advice and opinion, and which in my life and a lot of my friends that I know, is the best way they were able to grow their money. The last, and for me, this is what I would use, and what I would advise you, is a term life insurance. A term life insurance, for the obvious word term, is a type of insurance that is a fixed term, meaning if it's 10 years to pay, 10 years to pay, 30 years to pay, 30 years to pay. And the maximum, mostly here in the Philippines, is they give you 30 years. The premiums are very low, meaning what you pay for it compared to a variable or a whole life is way cheap. For example, there is a certain company that you can invest in that you can pay 3,000 pesos a year. A year. You can pay a 3,000 pesos premium per annum or per year, wherein you can already get between 1 million to 2 million in life coverage. So meaning if something happens to you, your dependents, of course you're not here anymore, your dependents will receive the 1 million. Okay? So if you have a wife or a husband that is very stubborn, you can push them in a cliff and receive the money. Woo! Just kidding. So, for example, a certain nurse who invested in a investment or a life insurance plan 5 years ago, we will compare the results if he invested in whole life, in a VUL, and a term life. So, a certain nurse, for example, during his driving at 3 a.m. in the morning, he was being ikis by another car, and he went out to make boxing. They boxed, but the guy could not defeat him, so the other guy took his gun and make shooting. So the certain nurse died. So, what's the good news is he has life insurance. So what happens is, if he invested 5 years ago for whole life, variable, and term, if he invested in a whole life 5 years ago, he would get the guaranteed coverage, his family will get the guaranteed coverage. As I say, for example, if it's 1 million plus the cash value, the guaranteed cash value, since it's guaranteed the whole life. So he will get the 1 million and the 500 cash value. If it's a variable plan, then he will get the coverage, which is again 1 million, but since it's still 5 years, he will not get any cash value because the variable during 5 years has no value, because most of it, to be honest with you, goes to the commission of the life insurance agent and the managers and the brokers. I'm just being honest, okay? So in the term life scenario, he will just also get the 1 million coverage because it is still covered in the 20-year term life insurance. So which is still 1 million pesos. So in terms of cash value or the amount that your dependents get, definitely the person or the dependents will get more cash value with the whole life investment because again, it is guaranteed. So meaning the 1.5 exceeds the term and the variable. But, and this is a very big but, in terms of premium, meaning the money that you pay for your life insurance plan, there's a very big difference. For example, if it's a 1 million plan, most likely you will pay between 20,000 to or 15 to 20,000 per quarter in a whole life plan. In a variable plan, you might pay between 8 to probably 12,000 in quarter. But in a term life, again, you would just pay 3,000 plus a year. So in terms of cost efficiency, the term life defeats all of the other investments. In conclusion, as a personal advice for me, and again, this is me, I don't want to put down any insurance agent. I believe an insurance, a variable insurance or whole life is also considered an investment. Personally, for me, what I would advise you is this. Buy a term life plan, especially if there's people depending on you. How much you can afford a year, maybe 1 million, 2 million coverage. Then, the money that you can save every month, put it in a mutual fund or a stock market investment, which makes your money grow faster and your family can also get the benefit of having that plan snowball or compound for you. Okay? So Marvin, thank you so much for that question. And by the way, I hope we were able to help you and clarify to you the world of life insurance. And hopefully by now you know what's the difference between a life, a term life insurance, and a whole life or a variable insurance. And please don't forget to like us below and post your questions and share this video. And of course, ask questions and we will answer it with our best. Always remember, do what you love and love what you do. You are a passion.